So today we're gonna do a little quickie review on the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. This is a brand new 28 pan palette. This is how it looks in real lighting. And these are the what you guys call real swatches. Honestly, guys, this was one swipe on with my fingers. I just put my finger in the pan and swirl it and did one little quickie swipe so you guys saw how each shade kind of looks compared to when I do them with stencils. A lot of you wanted both of them to see how it really looked like, maybe without any gimmicks, without any type of layering. This is one layer. So yeah, I was very impressed. It does have some negative things to say, which I will definitely say at the end, but I really actually liked it. The mattes were one of the best mattes Natasha Denona has come up with. I feel the mattes feel like cream. They don't they're not dry at all. They blend really nicely. A lot of these swipes on my arm with the stencil were done only one or two layers. Just kind of like sliding my finger down the stencil. Honestly, this is how it ended up being so easy. Now, the shimmers, some of the shimmers do need a wet brush because the crystals that they're using are meant to be used. They actually recommend you to use a wet brush for these. I did not wet the brush for these. As you can see, that blue right there, and one of the other coppery, bronzy shades was also a little bit kind of dusty, meaning you needed to lay that down with a wet brush. You can either use water, you can use a pigment medium. I also did kind of a comparison. If you see, some of these pictures are in bright sunlight and the other ones are kind of like in the shade, just so you can see. Now, the one negative thing I did find was like there's way too many bronze shades that the variation, it's so slight that I didn't think it was needed to have so many of the same bronzy colors in it, especially after she came up with gold palette, which also had a lot of bronze and golds. Nevertheless, if you don't have the gold palette, if you don't have um, her old original 28 pan, this is a great addition, especially if you already had Biba palette. I think the Biba palette will also pair very well. Now, I split these swatches. This is the second half of the swatches, basically the lower half of the palette. And it was interesting to see that some of these so-called black or dark colors were not black colors, or like they were actually very darkened green and teals. So that was quite interesting also to find out, because as I was swatching, I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is a green. It looked so dark on the pan. I'm actually going to put a picture of the actual palette again so you guys can tell what I'm actually referring to. So you see, when you take a picture of these, they completely look like just like it's black, and it wasn't. It was actually the prettiest, smoothest teal and green mats that she's come up with. I was very impressed. Um, Basically, I think that if you do have the gold palette, and if you don't exactly need to get this, there's a lot of overlap between the golds and the teals and all that, but it's very pretty. Again, the shimmers do definitely need you to wet that brush. I recommend that you do, or that you use a type of mix medium in there. But the matte is where it's at this way, and I feel like she's developed a lot her formula the last couple of years in mattes, when it has to be with mattes actually. Anyway, this launches tonight at Beautylish, and thank you guys for watching.